Welcome, everybody, to the Round 2 Front 9 coverage of the 2021 Las Vegas Challenge, presented by Innova Champion Discs. I'm Brian Earhart, joined again by Nate Perkins, calling the shots today. What's up, Nate?
What up, Brian? Today, the wind is gone.
Absolutely gone, and we attack the course that the players are playing twice in this 4-round event. The Innova course, I would say with the wind, it's the hardest of the three. Without the wind, it really changes how these players are attacking this place.
It is very scoreable. It's going to be a sprint today.
And we have some big arms to attack these holes. Ezra Aderhold, James Conrad, Ricky Wysocki, and Austin Hoop from California. Fantastic young player, awesome sidearm, awesome backhand. This is going to be a real treat to watch.
Absolutely. I mean, Aderhold is probably one of the hottest names in disc golf right now as far as momentum.
And they start off with this 393-foot hole. There's only really OB on the right side here. Oh, and James has thrown a little bit of a turnover. Was that intentional?
Wow, yeah. I mean, that was his initial angle. I think it was just a little low. That's a 9-speed. That's his Volt, his signature series Volt.
And there was a just gentle crosswind. So Ricky was, trying to play that and just dug into the ground there. Circle's edge. And Ezra's going power hyzer onto the slope.
I believe that's a Raptor.
393-foot Raptor. Little outside circle one. He'll have an uphill putt. And I have played with Austin Hoop before, and he is a stud and is getting better and better each season. This is going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah, he wants it as bad as anybody. We saw him pop on the scene last year at Waco with a 5th-place finish.
Just a clean sidearm. He throws that flat to fade angle really well. It's going to benefit him out here for sure. And again, kind of a dead skip in that zone.
Thank you for coming out, guys.
Ezra is so clean from that distance. I remember early on when he was just coming up last year as a solid name, shot a 1096 rated round in the woods at the Clash at the Canyons last year, and he was hitting those 40 to 50-foot step putts all day.
That was a really, really balanced step putt right there. And he knew it was in the whole way, too. Let's see if Ricky can follow up. Pushes its strong side just a bit.
And you can hear the birds chirping. There really is no wind out here. It is a scoring paradise.
Yeah, completely different ball game than round 1.
Oh, yeah. And James is going to go weak side there with his Ion. Brand new putters for him. Similar stability to the JK AVRs or the JC AVRs that he was putting with. And you're seeing their scores at the bottom. Those are their first-round scores. Players coming in, shooting double digits, even with that crazy wind yesterday. So they have a big advantage on the field. We move into hole number 2. Par 3, low ceiling, subtle hyzer left. Mid-ranger putter is the option here. James going low.
Just needs that ground play.
Yeah.
He knows it. Yeah, you need this one to flip up just a little bit or have enough pace that when you hit that hillside, it continues forward.
Exactly. And there's Ezra.
Ooh, a little too much hyzer right there from Ezra.
But,
But enough pace that he gets the circle's edge. Wonder if he's going to walk that one in, too.
he loves that distance. And there's Ricky. That's what I kind of thought Ricky was going to play. Is that a pig, I believe?
I was so lucky. Holy crap.
And Ricky calls it. That was lucky. Hoop. No stranger to forehand. Has unbelievable amount of touch.
Little bit high, caught some of those trees early. And he's just going to concede the par here. No need to go for something crazy like that. And I guess he doesn't even need to walk that in. That's a great birdie putt from Ezra.
Sure does make it look easy. He's one of the few players that follows through to the left.
Yes,
with his
I've
hand.
noticed that. I actually would love some slow motion on his push putt. Oh, no.
No.
And Ricky, one of the best push putters in probably the history of the sport, missing low from about 15-20. That is uncharacteristic.
I mean, yeah, you can count on one hand how many inside the circle putts Ricky misses per tournament.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much to Gatekeeper Media for filming today. If you want to support what I'm doing or follow what I'm doing, you can follow me on James_Conrad_III on Instagram, or you can go to jamesconraddiscgolf.com to get some JC gear.
And we're going to move into hole number 3. 270 feet downhill, little bit of a peninsula green. We have this water that's OB on the left. The path behind the basket is OB as well. All OB moves to a very far drop zone, so definitely have to stick this one close.
James going straight at it with the envy. What a shot.
Especially on this ground, getting the disc to land that softly. That is tough out here. Ezra's playing a pretty obvious route for him. It's probably
Imagine he's going zone
zone
right there.
here. Puts it to about 20, 25.
Forehand's a common play here. That tree does hang out over the pond, so if you hit that, you're likely dropping straight down into the out of bounds, guaranteed for.
Pig out of Ricky's hand.
Looks perfect.
And it's definitely a benefit to have those base plastic approach discs like Ricky was throwing there.
A little bit slower when
And
it hits the
sticky.
green.
Yes, exactly. Austin telling it to get down.
Just butter, though. Look at that pace.
Yeah, and that's going to be parked as well. Luckily, James has 6-foot legs and is able to get a nice straddle there. Solid birdie putt.
3 for 3.
And speaking of 3 for 3, Ezra follows suit.
It's really cool to see someone living up to the hype.
Exactly.
You know it.
Oh, and he built
Players
it up
get
last season
hyped up
all
the time.
year.
I mean,
oh,
he
yeah.
just made featured coverage once or twice, and he was one of the hottest names just because people saw how far he can throw, how big his arms are.
He's starting to put up the numbers, and it's really nice to watch. We are moving into hole number 4, 377-foot par 3. It's a pretty wide open straight shot.
Yeah, they moved it back. Used to could just throw a hyzer out over the trees on the right. Now you have to hit this gap. James gets the trees on the right. You really need something flat that is drifting to the right just a little bit.
And I think that's a solid shot from Ezra. I think it's going to be left side of the green here. And this is actually the person I think this hole suits the best. Ricky loves these little nose-up stall hyzers. Throws it high and flat, just lets it crash out. That's a solid shot.
Low release from hoop.
Pretty simple up and down for the par there.
Is that a tucked in shirt right there? James Conrad looking great.
New company, new fashion sense. He's kind of a new man, and same approach shots right next to the basket.
I personally think it's great when a player switches companies for the sport. I think it's great for the fans to see that a player can still do it with a different mold.
Absolutely. Solid
Great
putt from
putt.
Ricky. And I think James, I think people want more of James. He's a fan favorite. He is someone that everyone loves to watch play. And I think just having an opportunity to cement his own brand is a solid idea. So,
All right, Ezra. You can't really make it look any more casual than that.
he looks like he's feeling
I
good.
would call that a death putt. I mean, if you don't catch any metal, the sidewalk's right there behind the bucket on a downward slope,
Yeah.
fast green, and super casual, very upright.
That's going to be 4 for 4 for Ezra. Hole number 5, par 4, 606 feet, OB bunker, OB green. This is just hit this first gap, flip a little bit. This is one of the easier holes on the course. It averaged almost a half stroke under par, 3.53.
Wow, that's just one angle almost to the bunker.
Threw that about 5 feet off the ground, and he has a pretty simple approach to the basket.
Ricky going that inside, slight Annie forehand. Perfect position.
That'll be a good angle to the basket. Hard flex out of the hand from James.
James is actually going overstable fireball right here.
I believe that's
Love
a
that force
9-speed overstable. He loves throwing that shot. I'm glad that they have a disc for that slot for him. Throws that quite a bit. Kind of a conservative flick for Austin, but that is going to be in a pretty solid position. And did get a decent amount of distance, too.
Oh, he's going forehand in. So this
Standstill
green
forehand.
is really quick, and there's OB right behind it. If you sail it at all, it's likely out of bounds, but that's perfect from hoop. James going entropy approach here.
15, 20 deep. Look how close these guys are.
He's
606 feet is
Babying this shot, Brian. Wow.
it's almost like we're outgrowing this distance of par 4. And Ezra follows suit and puts it right next to the basket.
I mean, the flag isn't moving at all.
Yeah.
I mean, these
Very
are the best disc
rare for
golfers
Las
in the
Vegas.
world. It's not easy for everybody,
No.
but it is easy for these guys.
Well, especially, and I look at Ezra, especially he's throwing easily 80 miles an hour plus. And
I would say so, yeah.
on a course like this, even if it does get windy, it makes it so much easier to just throw overstable through the wind and have these slower disc approach shots. And he's showing us why, 5 for 5. And we have a touch hole here. Hole
Curveball
number
for
6.
sure.
Yeah, definite curveball, 222 feet. When it's windy, it's extremely difficult. This one is just going to be a putter to try to land on that right side.
Look at that little slight nose up shot from Ezra. That was a display of touch right there, Brian. Wow.
Very deliberate.
Was it a roach?
I
What's he
actually
throwing?
don't know what that one was. A lot straighter than a zone. I believe that might be a roach or a Luna.
And similar from Rick, the way he kind of air bounces it and gets the nose of that
Mm-hmm.
putter just slightly up. I'm sure we're going to see something similar from James here with this entropy. Oh, great angle.
Kind of hit the
Uh-oh,
rough part of the
uh-oh.
green.
Oh, it's a big difference right there. Just the pace that James had.
And that is the danger on this hole, is landing on that thin spot of the green.
Hoop going to lean on that forehand. Is he going wide?
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's going over
Stick
that
it.
palm.
Little
That's gonna
bit
be
short.
safe. That's a death putt. And speaking of death putts, this one right here, Brian, this is 50 feet you can't see anything but the pond behind those chains.
Sit down. I don't think that was out of bounds. That might have been safe.
That's hard to do.
Tried dropping it in, just didn't quite have the height.
Yeah, you can see he went to the straddle right there to kind of give it a soft bid. Oh yeah, James is safe.
It's going to be an unfortunate bogey for James on such a short hole. But there is an opportunity to take that stroke back on the next hole.
Is he going 6 for 6?
He is.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to Gatekeeper Media for round 2 out here at the Las Vegas Challenge. If you want future content, be sure to check out my channel, Ricky Sakibon Wysocki on YouTube, and I'm going to be posting all kinds of new footage, new content throughout the year. Thanks for watching.
And we're going to move into hole number 7. No matter what I see online, this is a par 4, and it scores close to a par 4. Double G did ace it, but this is a strong commitment the players have to make here. Ezra throws big hyzer angle out of his hand. I believe that's a nuke.
Is it?
And that is on the fringe, and that is a 25-footer for eagle. That is
darts.
a tiny green.
Tiny green. It's 15 feet across.
Ricky following. That's got to keep
It
going.
just straightened out a little too much. That's a very common result right there. He's going to have 22 feet left for a penalty birdie 3. Ooh, Hoopster throwing low again. Don't do that.
You could tell he was trying to get that forward push off the tee and just hit the upslope of that green.
That's not a good place to land. He's going to be throwing from the drop zone onto that tiny green. JC going 9-speed here.
That is
That's his
high. He's throwing 9-speed here, huh?
I mean, high, nose up, on hyzer, still gets the carry to go into that far sand trap. That's a great result considering that initial angle.
Absolutely.
This is so touchy right here, guys. I mean, look how tiny that green is. It slopes behind it. Look at that.
Ooh.
Brian, I know you're going to love that, dude.
I love that
Wow.
shot. Annie, nose up, flattened softly. I was actually kind of concerned when I saw him going for the forehand there.
What a shot from Hoop, displaying that forehand touch.
Oh, and James stays safe. That'll be a tap-in par.
That's fortunate because, I mean, those bunkers are hazard. If he sails that, it's in the bunker. He's putting for 4 from the same distance or further.
Exactly. And
Ricky's too. I mean, Ricky's was a death putt.
Here's an eagle putt for Ezra. And this man is 8 down through 7. He is on a mission.
Look at him.
Great up and down from Hoop. Moving into hole number 8, par 3, 427 foot. slight fade to the right. A lot of forehands going to come out here.
This is one of the tougher par threes on the track. Just the shape that it requires, and that OB sidewalk on the left kind of gets in the players' heads.
Ezra is going to be a little bit short on that. That's a long sidearm, and Ricky is going to also opt for that.
It's a huge sidearm, but as we all know, Ricky, he didn't invent the sidearm, but he definitely inspired hundreds and hundreds of disc golfers to give it a go.
He was nearly, I would say, sidearm dominant, I dare
2014
say.
Worlds.
Yeah.
Hoop does have the power to get it there. He needs that initial angle.
Almost. That was a couple degrees away from flexing.
A little bit more Anheuser on that release, you're saying? This is a mid-range from James. This is a reactor.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a 5-speed mid-range.
Get down.
Wow.
Is that going OB?
I don't think so, but that is not where he wanted to put that disc. That's still going to be about 100+ feet from the basket, it looks like.
Yeah, really tough birdie with the backhand turnover. Looks like he just checked up just short of that out-of-bounds line.
Just a layup from there. And this is somewhat of a gettable distance here. You see that flag blowing a little bit in Austin's face. He's got to make a decision here.
Yeah, that sidewalk is only 22 feet behind the basket.
And you hear that disc sliding. I don't think it went that far past, but he tried giving it a safe run.
Oh, and Ezra laying up for his first par of the round. Guess he does have one to give, huh?
Absolutely.
Hoop, good comeback right there.
With that kind of momentum, I really don't think you want to blow what you have by making a silly decision. And with that type of ground underneath the basket, you never know what could happen if you hit metal and pop out.
Is that 6 in a row for Ricky?
Yeah, Ricky is also on a pretty solid pace right now. And Ezra with the educated par. What do you think about hole number 9 here?
Hole 9, you have a gap. It's 20 feet across out the gate. It's a par 4, 601 feet. Really, anything out the gap you can score from.
This is the big miss. You go
That
two
is the big
straight.
miss.
You try to go flex out of the hand.
And Ricky has two'd this hole before, so I imagine that's kind of in his head. No wind. He thinks if he gets this one up, nose down and turning, that he can get there. And I actually practiced this course with Ezra and witnessed him park this hole. Park it 10 feet off the ground. He's going Page Pierce nuke right here. And that's a pretty conservative play. He's going high hyzer. 500 feet down the fairway.
Austin pulls his a little bit right. That's a destroyer. I think that's checking up, though. Not quite sure.
Couldn't tell.
And in regards to distance drivers, I have been seeing that James is liking 13 speeds, kind of for the first time.
Is that what this is right here? The Panic?
I
Is that
believe this is a
13 speed?
Panic. He wanted to go high flex.
Oh, that scooped out really quick. What a stable disc.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the unique things about James is he can throw the flippiest disc you give him, and he also leans on some really overstable disc in his bag.
Oh, yeah, Hoops did check up. He's a little further back than he would like, going faster into the green. But look at that control with that
Great job.
forehand. I mean, that is the fastest green right there. That
Yeah.
thing skips a mile. You almost have to play the skip.
Ricky, from a tough spot, also throws a beautiful forehand and sticks it to about 15.
That's impressive.
And James let go of that a little early. He's going to have to make a decision here. OB right behind that basket.
Ezra just kissing a zone. Oh my goodness.
That was a pure hyzer out of his hand off the tee as well. That was huge.
He's almost pin high, right? I mean, he was looking back at it almost.
What a committed run by James. That is a player that knows they're going to hit metal. There's no question, especially with the pace he put on that. Solid birdie for Austin.
What a good up and down from Ricky, the scramble master.
Absolutely. One of the best scramblers I've probably ever seen. Has a tool for pretty much every situation. And if this guy can just use his hyzer tool on every hole, I think he's going to be in good shape. I think Ezra is...
He's perfect through 9 with a par. This is amazing.
Perfect through 9. We're witnessing quite a round right now. And Ricky is not playing too bad either. We will catch you on the back 9. Thank you so much for tuning in, joining us here. As you can see, a lot of players are coming out the gate hot here. Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube, and we will see you then.